Hello Scorpio, welcome to the Black-Hearted Oracle. Before we get started, I'd like to pay homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course my beautiful ancestors. Now, this is part 3 of the 4-part series, and this one will be covering walking your path obstacles, or obstacles to walking your path. This reading covers from whenever you see this, so if you see it today, tomorrow, next week, it's from whenever you see it up until January 1st, because it's meant for you to be able to work through these issues and get to access the energies that are coming on the earth in the year of 2020. Okay, so let's get started. The first message we have for you is from Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch, and it's Count Your Blessings. And it says, it will soon be time to harvest again. The harvest missed in the past will come back to haunt you if you do not take your time to look around right now at all that is. You have forgotten your blessings and your rights. You nearly forgotten how lucky you are. Something that is a blessing is being overlooked. Stand in your life and look around and see all that has been given to you again and give thanks for it. Bring in or harvest the joy and love of what you have so much of and share your abundance. Something precious is all about you, but it has become so familiar that you barely see it anymore. It is such a fixture in your life that familiarity has bred, if not contempt, some kind of blindness. Appreciate that while you are in physical form, there is so much you can enjoy. There can be outstanding money issues associated with this card. Do not let anyone cheat you. These things you have earned through your hard work are worth protecting. You have more material wealth than you think, so please do count your blessings every day. Now, the next message we have is from the mermaids, and it's freedom, independence, and self-determination. The next message comes from the Sacred Vision deck, and it's legacy, and it's number 26, and it's Mallory Commission. It says, lover to lover and parents to child, we unite and live on throughout the ages, generation upon generation. What will your story be? Remember that you are a part of an expansive human family, past, present, and future, and all are traveling together on this boat named Earth. Though our journeys may be experienced differently, our destination, our home, is shared. Each journey is intertwined. You are at the beginning of a new cycle within your own story. Your parents have their own separate stories, and all 3 stories were agreed upon, predetermined but still separate. You have responsibility and expected path, but expectations can be broken. Your inner child has a chance to reframe inherited pain. Negative genetics wither away in the joy of knowing, with higher awareness and in a new positive cycle. Next, we have from the Abundance Angels, block out distractions, which I do believe this was in your first reading, your self-love reading, and it's your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. The second message is let go of guilt. And it says, when you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn to grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Next, we have the Unity card, which is the Hierophant, and its traditional viewpoints and methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded people. Then we have number 30, and it's the rabbit. And this deals with the moon, so all of the moon cycles. A vegetarian diet is suggested, and it says leaps and bounds will happen in endeavors for fertility, a new life. Plan wisely and recheck. And it says don't box yourself in. Now lastly, from the Black-Hearted Oracle, we have only a fool breaks their own heart. And it says, sometimes we get stuck in self-delusion or self-destructive cycles. We get comfortable with patterns that do not serve us, paying the all too high cost of our joy, happiness, and peace of mind. So come on, be the fool and start a new journey, even if it calls for you to break your own heart. So as we can see, what's laid here before you is, in order for you to walk your path, you're going to have to try to step out into freedom and let go of these traditional viewpoints that are keeping you stuck. And you're going to have to count your blessings and notice that the abundance that are around you, regardless of how it looks. You can't feel guilty because you want freedom, from these traditional viewpoints or the status quo. Because there's new, like this card, and this card speaks about a new path. Like, it's time for you to really step on your path. And since this reading is about the obstacles that you're having, then what it's saying is that even though you want freedom, you're really not going for it because you're stuck in this traditional role and the status quo. And you're feeling a bit melancholy because you're feeling like, you've missed the opportunity to reap the things that you wanted, or you missed the chance. So it's necessary that, even if like you have to hurt yourself by putting away what you think you want in order to get what you need, then you have to block out the distractions. It's saying don't box yourself in. Allow yourself to give the freedom of being independent and self-determined. Okay, we're going to get into the second reading. Now, first what we had was the, sorry about that, is impatience. And let's see where that is. I'll read from the book what it says for impatience. It says, your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. Now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known. Now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Am I jumping the gun? If I am honest with myself, am I forcing something? Scarcity thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience, unfolding revelation, and success. And when I clarified, I received the 8 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, the Fool, and Judgment. So exactly, spend your time working. Don't become impatient because things take longer than what they're supposed to take in your mind. We have to rely on divine timing because, as I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you're not going to just leave one path and start on your journey and then expect to get there right away. This is a lifelong thing, but don't get distracted. Right here it tells you that you have to block out the distractions. So make sure you know what cup you're choosing. And break your own heart by going on a new journey. Call a judgment on the confusion of the impatience. Secondly, we have vanity. And vanity says, the tenacious balance between what is true in our heart and what we communicate is reflected in aqua. Are you living and communicating your truth or just playing along? This may be a time of awakening to a new way of being. Be aware of distractions, again, that may pull you away from the true you. Again, Scorpio, it is telling you over and over again that your major blockage is for you to be able to block out things, places, and people who are keeping you distracted from being able to walk your path. And it says, we all say we will stop when we've had enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside of yourself for validation. Am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limited relationships? Environmental tensions, living in illusion, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, empty conversation, faith, awareness, and transformation. You know, so again with this distraction and confusion, you know, are you getting weary from the work that you're putting in because you're not seeing the fullness and joy of the efforts, you know? And maybe it's time for you to step out on your path and on your faith and into who you truly are. But what I received to clarify this card was the Five of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Moon. So this is somebody who's willing to win at all costs. You know, they want this pentacle because they feel like it's going to validate them. Even though it's causing frustration and deception and delays in their life, they're still willing to stand in this vanity and will at all costs to receive this pentacle. But remember that you're supposed to step out on faith. So be cautious of these energies. If these are your energies or someone else around you, just be cautious of it. Next we have instinct. And instinct says, to step into the light, we let go of all senses other than our pure instinct. When unfiltered, it guides us to the high ground and the help of our angels. This is a time to be the protector or to be protected. You will know which role you are in. But obviously you're not using your instincts because this is reversed. And remember that this is the obstacle to you walking on your path. You're going to have to turn this right side up and truly get centered and follow your instincts. It says your instincts is finely tuned, so why doubt? Your journey is guided. How can I master letting go and move on? Do I trust my inner guidance? Solitary journey. Spirit lies on the road ahead, led by spirit, following your instincts, guides, and awakening. So, Scorpio, is it that you're not trusting that there will be a net to catch you when you step out on faith? You know, this is the Ten of Pentacles, the Death, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Lovers. I mean, when I'm looking at the contrast of these cards, it's like you're here putting in the work and you're waiting for your rewards out of this, you know, out of this love affair. But in actuality, I mean, even though you're waiting for this and this just seems so bright, It just leads to death, and it leads to you putting in more effort, and it leads to you waiting on the effort, and yet still you're not at the point where somebody is making a proper choice, which is causing your instincts to be off balance. You need to put an end to putting in the effort with these levers and this choice, because it's a death to that. Lastly, we have enlightenment. And enlightenment says, the opportunity to make an enlightened decision is inherent in topaz. A journey of true destiny is the vibrational energy here. Your experience will guide others. My thoughts always drive my choices. How can I use my thoughts to heal myself? Path to enlightenment, the reluctant sage, taking time alone to connect, trusting your intuition, needing solitude time for reflection, support, courage, and confidence. So again, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse with this reading at this point, because it's all of them are saying the same thing. Is that you need to trust yourself. You need to turn this enlightenment and the instincts card back upright. If you ask and seek for your higher self, you will be met with it. It's there guiding you. It's that soft, still voice within you that is telling you when you're going off course. You know, but sometimes we get blinded and we don't remember that we should pay attention to that voice. And the outside noises distract it and drown it out. I received the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Right? So with this, I'm seeing, like, what do you want to be? Like, do you want to be one of these people who's waiting for this person to throw out the little coins to you? You know, are you happy enough to be stretching your hand for, you know, this little smug-faced little dude to drop his little pentacles here and there for you? Or are you willing to take up your wand, you know, and seek your enlightenment? Because if you can look, there's 1, 2, 3 pillars, which I mean, to me, it reminds me of the Three of Wands. But instead of like really waiting on the ships to come in, the main wand is lit. It's adorned in gold. It is lit. It's her passion. You know, she's lit on fire. It looks like she's carrying a sun around her chest. She's adorned. I mean, and this person coming in with their little offer, you know, look like they're on the same color scheme. Block out distractions. Remember that you're blessed. Seek for your freedom. Think about the legacy you would like to leave. Don't box yourself in. And be the fool that breaks your heart, so that you can ascend to your path and that you can get exactly what you want out of this life. You know, and because you would like to leave the traditional viewpoints, you cannot feel guilty for this. You have to let it go. Because our lives are for us. We're meant to be selfish. And I mean, when people hear me say that, they think, you know, oh my goodness, what's wrong with her? But you have to be selfish. Because if you're not, then your whole life will be spent for other people's needs and you won't get what you need out of your own life. So I hope this message finds you well, Scorpio. I pray that you find your higher self in the quiet places, and I hope that Mahat holds you in her loving grace. Ashe.